In today's video, I confess about clean eating.
All by myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com, and in today's video I want to do something a little different, completely anecdotal, no scientific stuff. I want to talk a little bit about my mindset and how it's changed and how maybe that could have a positive impact on you. And just get into this idea of kind of clean eating, having a meal plan versus the free-for-all that is kind of my association with if it fits your macros, right? So I was a big proponent of the whole if it fits your macros when it first came out because it got people out of their dogmatic approach of only having one way of doing things, right? There's only these 7 foods that you can eat during prep and you just eat those throughout prep and that's all you do. Or anytime you go on a weight loss diet, you just eat clean and that magically gets you leaner because you're simply cutting out the foods that are higher in calories, calorie dense, but that also doesn't teach you the right kind of habits because then anytime you want to have something that's not clean, you're then in this mindset of F it, I've had something off plan, I'm just going to eat whatever I want, or you avoid entire food groups and then when you have one bite of pizza you eat 14 because you haven't had it in so long. And so I was a big proponent, but I think what I'm starting to do is shift my mindset back to, okay, macros are great. Clean eating also has some merit. And here's why I want to discuss it. Because over the last couple of weeks and months, without a kitchen. So we bought a new house. We said, hey, we're getting a new house. Let's go ahead and remodel the kitchen before we move in. So 3 weeks before we moved in, we had our budget set, met with the contractor, great, we're gonna start. They had the demo done in a couple weeks. Well, we've been in the house 3 months, we still don't have a kitchen, okay? The kitchen contractor just disappeared, fell off the face of the earth. That's neither here nor there. Nothing we can do about that, right? What we started doing was, here I am at work, sitting at my desk, and it's noon and I haven't eaten. So I started doing like some intermittent fasting stuff, figuring whatever, I can track my macros, I can IIFYM it, and I can have a great day because I know how to hit my numbers. So I would go out and have a huge lunch, and then me and my wife would go out and have a huge dinner at either like, you know, someplace like Moe's or Chipotle or Mexican, or we'd go out to a steakhouse, or we'd go out to Pollo Tropical. We'd basically go out and eat every day, twice a day, you know, and then I would have some breakfast stuff, like at the house, maybe some Quest bars and stuff like this. And I was fine. I wasn't like gaining weight. I wasn't, you know, I was doing okay on that approach. But something clicked when Lauren Conlon said to me, hey, you know, there's a good meal prep service in Tampa, a company called Fit Life Foods. And I thought, well, let's just do that because at this point, after weeks and weeks of eating out, I'm just sick of having to leave my house to get food. I was just sick of not having something here and, you know, kind of breaking up my day because I didn't have it. So initially what I noticed was, hey, this is really nice to just be able to walk out there, heat something up, come back, eat, and keep going through my day. Not having to get in the car, drive, leave, plan my like whole lunch around not being home, right? That just was just breaking up my day to a point I did not like it. But when I started making this change to eating prepared meals from a company, what I found was there were some other perks, okay? I started immediately feeling better. I started immediately noticing improvements in my physique. I started having less cravings throughout the day, more energy in the gym, better recovery. I actually started craving foods that would be considered cleaner, right? So I actually crave the foods that I typically would say, oh, you don't have to eat that. You don't have to have something just because it's clean. You can eat French fries and a hamburger. But now that I've switched, right, and I've kind of been more consistent with eating a quote-unquote cleaner diet, you know, because these meals tend to have things like broccoli and asparagus, sweet potatoes, you know, lean pork, lean chicken, egg whites. These meals, they're fresh, they're never frozen, so they're really good, but they're definitely something that if I was preparing it at home, I would call it, you know, a clean meal. And so it's really shifted my mindset, because as a coach for years, I've kind of been, oh, you can eat whatever you want and still reach your goals. But I'm finding that the psychology and the physiology of eating foods that are micronutrient dense, pre-planned, has a huge value. And this kind of got me thinking about, okay, what about meal plans that are cookie cutter? Bro cookie cutter. 7 foods, the magic meal plan. And it really got me thinking, you know what, they have merit. There's actually some benefit to that. Because when you're eating a meal plan that has the whole foods in it, and I even notice this myself when I'm in contest prep, because that's what all my foods end up becoming are, you know, when your calories get low, you don't have a lot of options. You're not going to be able to eat out. Is that you actually start to crave the foods that at one point you would actually tell yourself, oh, that sounds gross. Tilapia sounds gross. But when I'm in prep, it sounds delicious. Same thing with like some vegetables, same thing with like leaner meats. And I find that now that I've shifted to a more structured, cleaner approach of eating, don't get me wrong, I'm still having my pancakes once a week, guys. I haven't lost my mind. But my point being is that I now crave those things. My mind right now, thinking about the next meal, is about my lean pork, sweet potato mash. It's not about, oh, I should stop by Chick-fil-A on the way back from USF because it's right there, which is what I used to do. I used to plan my day around the kind of the fast food that I was going to eat, still hitting my numbers, but it's hard to quantify. I can't tell you like, oh, this is better, this is better, this is better. Like, the scale is roughly the same. You know, I feel like I look a little better. I feel like I'm performing better. I feel like day to day my energy levels are better. I'm not having the ups and downs that I was. I'm much more predictable in kind of, you know, strength, recovery, energy, focus, my sleep. So I just want to kind of go on record and give you guys the idea that, yes, although we espouse a flexible approach, I've kind of gotten away from, see, I consider like IIFYM the left-wing version of flexible dieting. If flexible dieting is just exchanging your proteins, carbs, and fats for other protein, carbs, and fats that you want, so instead of chicken you have pork, that's flexible dieting in the middle. This is clean eating, right-wing, super conservative. You only eat these foods. Flexible dieting is in the middle. To me, IIFYM is over here, and that's just my opinion. It doesn't mean it's for everybody. So I don't actually use the term if it fits your macros anymore, because I think there's a flaw there. There's a flaw there because it's a psychological trigger for, you know, eating foods that aren't going to be in your best interests. And if your goal is to lose weight and get leaner, you should be doing things that are the best for you throughout that process. Now, does that mean when you have a social event, you shouldn't be able to go out and have cake or ice cream, or you shouldn't be able to fit things in? Absolutely not. I'm all for that. Just understanding that having a plan is better than not having a plan and being IIFYMAF, okay? So that you're actually having a plan from day to day and not just kind of winging it. And this is just because I, as a person that started out completely as a flexible dieter, have really learned that I'm kind of enjoying the structure and planning of meal planning, even in my off season. I'm not in contest prep. During contest prep, I am regimented as can be. I have my meals planned out for days in advance, packed in the fridge, right? But I'm finding that there's real value in that now, even at this stage. And so just wanted to go on record and talk about the fact that, you know, clean eating, meal planning, they have value and they teach us good habits and structure. And I think those type of things carry over into other parts of our lives. That's going to be it for today, guys. I've got a class today at noon at USF. I'm getting ready to head over there, so I got to get this edited and uploaded. And I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts. I'd love to hear your feedback on how free and willy-nilly you are and how successful that impacts you. Like, if you're full-on IIFYM, left-wing, are you able to stay on track most of the time, or do you find yourself having to kind of have a plan? I would love to hear your thoughts on that. You guys have an awesome Tuesday, and I will talk to you tomorrow.